In football, there is nothing more exciting than a tight title race, where teams fight tooth and nail for the ultimate prize. However, the beautiful game can be equally cruel, as a momentary lapse in concentration can turn an entire season on its head. In this video, we will take a trip down memory lane to relive some of football history's most unforgettable title collapses, from legendary clubs crumbling under pressure to underdogs upsetting the odds. This list will cover some of the most dramatic moments in the sport. Number 1. Schalke and Bayern, 2000-2001. It was the ultimate fight for the Bundesliga in 2000-2001. The stadium is buzzing with energy as the players take for their positions, their hearts beating quicker. Schalke and Bayern, two heavyweights of the Bundesliga, are confronting a coordination that will be remembered in history until the end of time. The pressure is high, the stakes are higher, and the world is watching. In the final match, Schalke needed to win and a loss from Bayern to take the title. Schalke was on fire. They are overwhelming the field and have been having the season of their lives. With fair 1 minute to go, they are driving 5-3 against Unterhaching, and victory appears nearly certain. The crowd emits cheers and applause, prepared to witness a memorable minute for their beloved group. But did they know that in Hamburg, the destiny of the Bundesliga was being chosen in a different game? Bayern, never willing to deliver without a fight, was battling against Hamburg, losing 1-0 while time ran out. As the clock ticks down, the unbelievable happens. Bayern scores. In the 4th minute of the additional time, it was an indirect free kick that was about to decide the winner of the Bundesliga, and about to shock the whole Schalke fans because they were already celebrating the title. Patrick Andersen scored that free kick, taking the title away from Schalke's hands. The stadium falls noiseless as Schalke fans gaze in doubt, their dreams smashed. It was a minute that would go down in history as one of the greatest dramas in the Bundesliga. The happiness of victory turned into the misery of defeat, and the shock was felt by each Schalke fan worldwide. But one thing was beyond any doubt. The drama of that last game of the 2001 league title would be remembered for years to come. Number 2. The Gerrard Slip. The 2013-2014 Premier League season will forever be remembered in football folklore, marked by the unforgettable collapse of Liverpool's struggle for the league title. After 24 years of waiting, Liverpool fans were on the verge of glory. A team playing exciting attacking football and scoring a staggering 101 goals by the end of April. As the end of the season approached, they found themselves on the verge of winning with just 3 games remaining. 5 points behind second place Chelsea. But then something unexpected happens. A mistake by captain Steven Gerrard saw Demba score the first goal in a crucial match against Chelsea at Anfield. But in the end, he lost 2-0. The title race is open again. Liverpool's next game featured a scenario in which Crystal gained an early advantage with his 3-point lead against his Palace opponents. But in a dramatic turn of events, in his last 11 minutes of the game, Liverpool faced a formidable opponent, conceded 3 goals, and ended the proceedings with a 3-3 draw. The final match of the season came. Liverpool needed to beat Newcastle United with unwavering hopes of Manchester City losing to West Ham. Liverpool won 2-1, but City comfortably secured his 2-0 victory, denying Liverpool the title that came very close. Number 3. The famous Aguero moment. The 2011-2012 Premier League season was an emotional ending for football fans around the world. Manchester United looked confident for a 20th title, as they had an 8-point lead over rivals Manchester City with 6 games remaining. But what followed was a collapse of epic proportions. United suffered a shock defeat to relegation-threatened Wigan and a draw against Everton. The Manchester derby proved the turning point, as City's victory allowed them to edge ahead of United on goal difference. However, the drama didn't stop there, as United needed to win the final game and hoped City to make a mistake against QPR. Tensions were palpable as the world awaited news of City's result when United secured victory over Sunderland. And then it happened. QPR took the lead, and City seemed to collapse under the pressure. But most dramatically, Sergio Aguero scored a last-minute winner and sent the Etihad into a frenzy and secured the City title. It was a moment that will go down in Premier League history forever. But let's not forget the collapse of United that made it possible. Number 4. Liverpool collapse in 2018 to 2019. The pursuit of the championship in last year's Premier League was abundant, with riveting and captivating moments. There were multiple electrifying moments that had us perched on the very brink of our chairs. In their initial 20 matches, Liverpool has secured triumph in a remarkable 17 of them. As such, they had an advantageous and considerable 8-point above Manchester City. Nevertheless, City exhibited their unyielding spirit and secured a dramatic win against Liverpool in January with a scoreline of 2-1. This outcome can be attributed to the juncture where they were able to shift gears in their quest for the title. Draws at Leicester and West Ham further dashed Liverpool's hopes as City won their last 14 games to clinch the title by 1 goal. Liverpool lost only 1 game to City, but Liverpool's amazing runners-up record of 97 points was not enough to clinch their first Premier League title in 29 years. Number 5. Bayern Leverkusen, 2001 to 2002. The 2001-2002 season was supposed to be a historic season for FC Bayern Leverkusen, with a team made up of Michael Ballack, Zed Roberto, Ildo Ebasterik, Lucio, Oliver Neuville, and a young Dimitar Berbatov. They were nearly 3 times as big as him. Their top-flight side reached the DFB Cup final and the Champions League final, and with 3 games remaining, they were leading the league by 5 goals. Captain Jens Novotny got injured in the Champions League semi-final against Manchester United at the end of the season. Despite this setback, Leverkusen still had the edge in the league. However, they were able to throw it all away with back-to-back losses to Werder Bremen and Nuremberg. Borussia Dortmund went to the final day in a self-determined manner and secured the title with his 4-3 victory over Hamburg. Leverkusen's misery happened a week later when they lost to Schalke in the cup final. To make matters worse, they were hit by the excellent of Zinedine's famous volley at Real Madrid in his Champions League final. What would become their biggest season ended empty-handed. The pain of losing the title was heartbreaking, but coming so close to the Triple Crown and ending up with nothing was a devastating meltdown. The Bayern Leverkusen squad of 2001 to 2002 will forever be remembered in history as one of the most dramatic and unforgettable collapses in football's end of season. Number 6. Arsenal title collapse. The once fearsome football club Arsenal dominated the Premier League for most of the season, but as the calendar turned to April, changes began to blow, and it looked like North Londoners were about to throw away the title within their reach. With 3 consecutive draws, their lead started to fade. Their opponents were nothing to talk about, a mid-range club and 2 teams relegated, but they were unable to get the job done. In 2 of those games, Arsenal squandered their 2-goal advantage, a mistake that would cost dearly. On the other hand, they needed a last-minute miracle goal to secure a draw against the last residents of the tournament. After 3 draws, Arsenal had to receive a heavy defeat at the hands of Manchester City, with a score of 1-4. The loss to Man City further dampens Arsenal's hopes of retaining the title and prompts City lovers to win it. The club's fans were shocked when the team they had so long supported risked throwing away what was once considered a safe bet. Arsenal's title demise is now a real possibility, and fear of defeat has begun to pervade the entire club. Can they turn the tide and maintain the lead? Or will they suffer the infamous, one of the biggest stock crises in history? As tensions mounted and games drifted away, the once invulnerable Arsenal began to look vulnerable, and the title race turned into a nail-biting affair. Would they collapse under the pressure, or would they rise to the occasion and show their mettle? Only time would tell, but for now, the Arsenal faithful were holding their breath and praying for a miracle. Tell us in the comments section which title collapse you would have put on the list. Hit the like button and subscribe for more great football content.